Hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking and learning how to build Titania Prime, the little frame that can turn into a fairy and deal massive amounts of damage. And before this gets started, I do want to let everyone know that since we'll be talking about Titania Prime, I am going to be having a Titania Prime giveaway as well. So stick until the outro of the video to figure out exactly how to do that. And the winners of the Mega Nova Relic prize as well will be shown on screen right now. I've already contacted and successfully traded with one person. If you see your in-game name on screen, I've been trying to contact you, and please leave a message in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get right into it. So let's have a quick look at Titania Prime's abilities. On the first slot we have Spellbind, which is a mass CC ability, wisps enemies into the air, and removes all status effects from all allies. If you hold the ability down, it does all that and also grants you status immunity as well. We got Tribute, which is 4 debuffs and buffs that you can cycle through, causing a shadow to appear over the enemy. You or your Razorflies can walk or fly through it to activate the timer for it instead of having it just an aura. It lasts for 2 minutes. Thorns decreases damage done by 50%. Dust reduces hit chance by 50%. Full Moon increases damage, health, and armor for all companions, including Razorflies, and Entangle reduces the speed of all enemies nearby. Lantern, you create a swarm of Razorflies that transform an enemy into a floating beacon. Other enemies are attracted to this beacon, and you can make it explode by pressing 3 again. The Razorwing form is Titania's major form, and it lets you shrink down to the size of like a Razorwing, having the ability of a mini Arcwing. This increases your evasion chance, while giving you access to Dewata and Dex Pixia exalted weapons of the Titania build. For this build, we will be putting Lantern into the helmet and switching it out for one of 2 abilities, which is Rhino's Roar or Nova's Nullstar. For Dex Pixia, I recommend installing an Orokin reactor to double up that capacity, 4 Norma Formas plus an Umbra Forma, and an Aura Forma. For you're going to need the multiple different auras on Titania. For her Dex Pixia, I recommend installing the Orokin Catalyst, 4 Formas as well. And for the Dewata Prime, I also recommend installing an Orokin reactor and 3 to 4 formas as well. So we'll be having a quick look at the Titania Prime build. For our aura slot, we have Combat Discipline, giving allies and Razorflies 20 health on kill. Preparation for that extra energy so that we can pop our Razorwing form immediately. You can switch these out for their Umbra form, Streamline for the extra efficiency, Equilibrium for the extra survivability, Transient Fortitude for the strength, 81 for the Narrow-Minded for the duration, more duration, and then Flow. Can be switched out for Prime Flow, but as you can see, my capacity is maxed out. What we're looking for here is good duration with good strength and decent efficiency so that we're not losing all of our energy the entire time, since our Razorwing form does cost energy. And with this brings it to 1.8 energy a second, so pretty good, under 2. Anyway, we're going to head over to the index, enemy radar and enemy sense to see all the enemies on the map, and then some more survivability, so when you're carrying some index tokens, you don't have 0 health. Arborations is a pretty standard build. We're running corrosive projection just so that the enemies are easier to kill. Since the Arboration drones do not get affected by abilities, and Titania's Razorwing is an ability with her Dex Pixia and Dewata, none of those hurt the Arboration drones, so instead what we do is we have to either get out of our Razorwing form or use our Operator. I have Power Drift on this one to resist any knockdown because we won't be in the air the entire time. She's not that great at Arborations, but you can make her work. And then the main build is again pretty standard. This is a pretty low end build that has been kind of switched out for the sustain and damage build. For when you're using Combat Discipline, you're going to want to Forma her a few times first, otherwise Combat Discipline is just going to kill you. Earlier on, I tried to use it, and well, I died pretty quickly, just to myself. Anyway, the arcanes that we're using is Arcane Avenger. For on damage, I have a 7% chance. For more critical chance, really good since this procs with Combat Discipline, and then Arcane Energize just for the more energy. Let's head over to our Dex Pixia. So we got the Steel Path right here. Dex Pixia, we have our Galvanized Diffusion and Galvanized Shot for more multi-shot and more status chance on kill. Hornet Strike for that 220% damage increase, since the Dex Pixia does not have an Arcane slot or an Excellus slot. Lethal Torrent for more fire rate and multi-shot. We got Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, and Convulsion as our elements. Gunslinger for more fire rate, since Titania doesn't have any ammo nor reload time. We'll go to the Cambion Drift. Same thing, except we just changed around the elements that we're using. Because in the Cambion Drift, enemies are immune to viral and slash damage, so we're running Corrosive and Blast. Both do really well in the Cambion Drift. Our Dewata Prime is useless. Dewata Prime is useless as a sword, but any buffs you put on the Dewata Prime do affect your Razorflies. So, like slash, well, not all buffs, but slash damage does. No elements. It cannot proc. It doesn't seem like it can proc a status effect, so that's why I'm not worried about status effects. Every time I did my testing, it could never land a slash. It could never land any status effects. But that being said, we have critical chance and critical damage and just melee damage in general. We have Vicious Frost, Primed Fever Strike, and North Wind as our elements, and the rest is just pure damage. My favorite use for Titania, outside of very quick missions like capture missions, is the Index, making you millions of credits. Once in a Razorwing form, you're pretty much untouchable. You get increased survivability and invasion. This gets boosted even further if you activate Dust and Thorns, and if you helmethed your Nova and got Nullstar and put that on Titania, this increases your survivability even further. Once in her Razorwing form, a vacuum effect kind of happens. So unlike other frames that have to walk over the Index coins, Titania absorbs them, meaning you don't have to be in the same spot to pick it up. On top of this, her Razorwing form has vast amount of maneuverability, meaning you could fly over parts of the map without worrying about pretty much the landscape at all. Her survivability, durability, and maneuverability in the Index is why I choose Titania to play the Index every time. This is the first video I've done giving a Warframe breakdown and Warframe build. If you have any suggestions or thoughts in the comments, please let me know, or things I could do to improve. I'm going to let this Index game play out so you can see start to finish how I play Titania in the Index. Also, I have an entire set of Titania Prime that, well, of course I'm not using. I have Titania, and I just made an entire video of Titania Prime. So, again, I'm going to break all the rules of YouTube. If you want a chance to enter and win Titania Prime, you don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like the video. There's no subscribe, comment, like goal. But you will need to leave your in-game name in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, that's it.